They took everything we had and even disconnected the things in the ambulance and demanded money.
That's an inconsolable Priscilla Otibu, the then pregnant woman who was on board the ambulance that came under attack last Thursday by highway robbers. It was an attack that began after midnight and lasted 4 hours at a remote part of the Asiseso Edukrom Road, during which the robbers shot and killed ambulance service personnel Abraham Tete Homeku. The emergency ambulance team was conveying Priscilla from the Akuse Government Hospital to the Eastern Regional Hospital in Koforidua after she suffered complications in labor. She tells JoyNews 9 armed men accosted them in the middle of the journey and opened fire at them.
They took everything we had and even disconnected the things in the ambulance and demanded money. There were about 9 young boys. They took everything we had and disconnected the things in the ambulance and demanded money. There were about 9 young boys. We were held at gunpoint from about 1 a.m. to 4 a.m. They took my phone, which had 1,700 CDs on it. They took everything, including my mobile money pin. I started shouting, but the nurse urged me to keep quiet, otherwise they will shoot me. When I went to the hospital today, they didn't tell me the driver had died. I was told yesterday, and when I heard it, I fainted. If not for me, someone's child wouldn't have died like this. The death of the driver is what even hurts me the most. I think it's all my fault. If not for me, nothing like this would have happened to him.
She's dealing with the trauma, she's dealing with taking care of her kid, and she's dealing with the stigma, and she's dealing with the emotional burden of feeling that she is responsible for that person's death. In the meantime, the acting public relations officer for the Eastern Region Police, Francis Gumado, says they've picked up intelligence on the suspects and are tracking them.
No arrest has been made. But yesterday there was a team of policemen led by ASP Danso, who is the Edukrom district officer, to the enclave where the incident happened. So they went and combed the place in search of these alleged robbers. But unfortunately, all the places that are noted to be a settlement for the Fulanis, they all vacated the area. The areas leaving their animals alone. So we are still picking some intelligence, and we hope and pray that we should be able to get some people arrested in connection with this heinous crime. So investigations are ongoing, but just that we've not made any arrests yet. In terms of lead, yes, we are following a lead. But lead in itself is not concrete. Are you getting me? Will lead to positive results. Some will actually lead to nothing. You understand? But all the information available to us now, in terms of description and some pieces of information that we are picking, we are moving on them. And we are only hoping and praying that we should be able to make any road. Well, actually, any victim of robbery will be taken care of in a certain way. So those who actually suffer some torture or what have you, assault, whatever, they have been given medical forms to attend hospital, and that is how far we've gone.
Let's speak to our correspondent, Eastern Regional Correspondent Maxwell Kudeko, who has been on the beat for us since last week. Hello, Maxwell. Maxwell, What is the latest development on this particular story?
Well, we have had conversation with Otibu Prisla, the preterm mother who was in labor, and the paramedic who was also on board the ambulance. The two are still traumatized, and it's becoming very difficult to live up to the reality that something happened. Now, Otibu Prisla and then the Otibu Prisla and the paramedics tells us that they have not received any call or telephone conversation with the police with respect to gathering of information as to getting lead to arrest the perpetrators. The police have not reached out to them to ascertain what happened, especially with respect to the incident connecting to the shooting of the ambulance driver. Now, it is also on record that the armed robbers managed to seize the phones of the preterm mother and her sister, and then they took the PIN code, that's the mobile money PIN code. She claimed that they had an amount of 1,700 cedis on it, so they picked the phone and collected the PIN code. So it is assumed that there may be a transaction on that phone, which could be a lead for the police to start to trace the perpetrator. But they have not been contacted so far by the police to gather some of this information, which will lead in apprehending the perpetrator.
So as of now, I mean, as of I think about 12 p.m. today, they hadn't received any call from the police. They said, as of now, has that story changed, or is it the same?
The story remains the same. They have still not received any call from the police. Now, the difficulty is that Otibu Prisla is domiciled somewhere around Esukare. It's a bit. It's not too far from Esukare. The lady is being stigmatized by the community. Yesterday, she complained that the community people are pointing fingers at her, that the ambulance driver was shot because of her. Had it not been the fact that she was being transferred from Akose to Kofodia, the driver would not have bumped into the robbery and then lose his life in his bid of saving her. So that has also been a very sad situation for the lady. She's been home since yesterday when she went for treatment at the clinic at Esukare. So that is also a matter of concern to people around the lady, that the community have started more handling her, even though she suffered a lot of trauma and she went through so much pain during the incident.
And is she getting any help? Yesterday, the director of the ambulance service indicated that the paramedic who was on board the ambulance had, some clinical psychologists talking to her. Is Priscilla getting any sort of help from the clinic?
Well, so Priscilla, according to her, she delivered at the Kofodia, the Eastern Regional Hospital. After delivery, we are told that her condition was not too stable with respect to his mental stability. So she had some kind of counseling from the clinical psychologist, and she was somehow stable. But after she was discharged from the hospital, she's not had continuous